Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you a brief introduction to particle flow systems in 3ds Max. So first of all, particle flow systems are usually used where you have a source which you want a flow to occur from. So in this instance I'm going to just create a tube in which ball bearings are flowing out of. So first of all I want to create my source geometry and particle geometry, and then I'll open up the particle flow system. So just in standard primitives I'll create a tube and then a sphere, which will be my ball bearing. Okay, so now to get to particle flows, go down to the Create tab to Particle Systems. And go to PF Source and then to Particle View. So the one I'm interested in is a standard flow, which is quite simple. So I'll drag and drop that in. And for the event, the birth we kind of keep as a default, and then you can go to the position icon, and so this will, if we look in our viewport, it creates this little position icon, which is where particles will flow from. So ideally we want that to really be associated with our object, so I'll just select it and move it. So now it's kind of, if we look in that, you can see it's kind of inside the tube. And we can see that here as well. So anyway, if we come back here now, we want to change the position icon to position object. So you drag and drop that over the top, and then add and select the tube. You can see now it's come up tube one. And if we can do that animation to simulate what will happen, you can see that it's all coming off the sides here as well. So a way of changing that is to go to Edit Poly, and I'm just going to select some of the inner faces of this. So I'll go to Polygon and click the Animate so it remembers the polygons I select. And now that's taken that first row, I might just select a few more as well. There we go. So, and then we change this to select faces, and what should hopefully happen is you can see they're flowing from the inside face. So speed. If we play this, we can see it comes out pretty quickly. So pause that. Probably can drop down the speed maybe to half, and maybe increase the variation a little bit. Let's have a look. So it's coming out a bit slower anyway. And then to rotation, keep that as it is. And then shape. So this is using like a standard shape, and at the moment you can't see that because in display we're showing ticks rather than geometry. So first of all, we don't want their standard shapes, we want our own one. So we go down to shape instance, drag that over the top, click on it, and select the sphere. You can see that now is there. And then for display, change that to geometry and geometry. So now when we play it, you can see it's beginning to take shape. But it sort of comes out as this big huge clump. So the way to change that is to, you see it stops emitting at 30. So if we change that to say 100, you can have a look, and it's sort of getting a lot more now. And if we play it on loop, you can see there's like sort of a continuous flow. So that in a nutshell is how to create a very basic flow. And this here is your Scrabble bar, where you can sort of test out things as you change the properties. So both important for changing the number of particles and when they stop emitting, and then position object, obviously very important to define the source of where the flow is coming from. Speed, obviously change the animation, how quickly it happens. You can also play around with direction, so changing the terrain in 3D, still using those interfaces as the source, but it's kind of exploding them out, so not useful for what we're trying to simulate, but if you're doing an explosion it might be useful. Rotation, I haven't sort of played around with that and I won't in this tutorial. Shape instance, obviously you can change the shape and the scale and variation. So yeah, you can sort of make it become bigger and more variable. And then the display, if you're working with large files, you can select ticks to just get a quick idea of what things are going to look like. And then render, you'll still render your geometry overall. So if I click render now, you can still see the geometry.